Hi there, Steve McGee, back in Parliament this week, today Thursday the, whatever it is, the 19th of October, and it's been a really busy week, exceptional week obviously with what's happening overseas in the Middle East, and I should say that on Tuesday when Parliament started, a motion was passed in regard to the events in Israel and Gaza and supporting both communities in regard to the tragedies that are happening over there, and the harming and killing of civilians is just not acceptable, no matter what side people are on. There should be no harming and killing of civilians, and unfortunately we have a terrorist organisation that couldn't care less about their civilians, but we wish everyone well, and I know the Australian government's working very hard, and I know my colleagues here in the Victorian government are very supportive of both communities, not only the Jewish community but the Muslim community also. And we did, as a show and a sign of respect, have a minute's silence, plus also we had an adjournment of Parliament for an hour on Tuesday as a show of respect. This week I've done a member's statement about all the things that are happening in Melton. A whole range of different things. Went out to the Binat Primary School, which is an amazing facility. It was great to catch up with Jean Bentley, the principal, and clearly all the workers out there that have done an amazing job. And on the day we were in the new basketball stadium or new gymnasium when they were laying the floorboards, and it's just incredible. It's going to be a great school. Be open term 1 next year. And other things, made references to the level crossing removals, the new hospital coming next year, a whole range of things that are happening in Melton. The legislation that I've spoken on this week myself has been the state taxes. Spoke about that today, and also the special investigator, which was the investigator that oversaw the outcome of the Royal Commission into the Nicola Gobbo situation and the as I say, the issues of some of the criminals that used Nicola Gobbo as a legal representative, and the police using her as, I suppose, as a source to gather information from. So anyway, there's been legislation that will be passed today in regard to winding up that special investigator's office, because they've done their job and it doesn't need to continue. Had a meeting this morning with regional caucus members. We have, in the Labor Party, the Labor government, we have 18 regional members, MPs, more than what the Nationals have. I think twice as many as what the Nationals have, even though the Nationals would say that they are representatives of the regional communities. It's complete rubbish. The Labor MPs are the representatives of regional communities, let me tell you, and we will get things done. And our meeting this morning was to talk about the $2 billion that will be spent in the regions as an outcome of the cancellation of the Commonwealth Games, and we're working on a process in regard to delivering on all the things that we've committed to. And it's fantastic that we have 18 regional members that will be out there advocating for things to be built and done in their regions. Today we attended the Pink Elephant event, and people might not know about the Pink Elephants support network, but it is a support network for early pregnancy loss. They have counselling services and a whole range of other support services. And I don't know if people are aware, but 1 in 4 pregnancies end up in some type of loss of the child, whether that be stillborn or whatever. Very tragic circumstances for parents. But the Pink Elephant Network are a fantastic network, and if anyone needs information, please let my office know. Had a meeting with the Minister for Carers, Minister Blanthorne, specifically about kinship carers and whether I can seek to get some further benefits or some benefits for kinship carers in supporting them in the great job that they do in looking after our little ones that need to have caring availability. And a lot of the people that are kinship carers are either relatives or grandparents or things like that, and they do an amazing job. Tireless work, but without them doing what they do, many of these kids would be much worse off, and we thank them for all their efforts. I met with a couple of Chinese journalist students from the Royal Melbourne, from Melbourne University. Two lovely young women who I met at a forum only a couple of weeks ago in Melbourne. They wanted to come and interview me about the outcome of The Voice. Lovely young women, fantastic that they're here for 2 years, trying to obviously get their journalism degree. They'll be very good at what they do, and fantastic to meet up with them. Great questions. They know a lot more around our constitution and how Australia operates and things like that than what I did, let alone a number of other people I know. They've done their research, and good on them for that, but they're welcome anytime to come and meet with me, and I've said that to them. We also had a work experience, parliamentary work experience kid in here. I'll call her a kid because she is to me, but Rakaya, who lives in Weir Views out at Melton. She's doing her parliamentary work experience for the week, and it was terrific to catch up with her and Brenda Kittlety from Parliament Services. And she's here just getting to know how Parliament runs, see how the building works, the different departments here, how MPs carry on and work. But it was great to catch up with her, and I'm pleased to say that she's going to become a member of our youth group out of my electoral office, and Kaylee in my office will sort all that out with Rakaya when she's back in Melton. And finally, I should say, we had a meeting of the Friends of the RSPCA. And it's interesting, we have many parliamentary friends groups of different countries, different organisations, Parliamentary Friends of Stroke, but we had a meeting of Parliamentary Friends of the RSPCA, and I've got to say it was one of the most well attended. So there's a lot of support of the RSPCA and what they do, but it's all about welfare of animals, and that will be terrific. That group will work closely from all sides of politics in regard to trying to improve the outcomes of many animals that are not looked after all that well, or stranded, and in need of support. And finally, you may have seen in the news yesterday, being Wednesday, we had a little dog in here called Sprite, furry little terrier, beautiful little fella, 14 years old, rescue dog from up around Kerrang area. He's been an ornament in this building for MPs and staff in regard to his friendship, his wagging tail, his beautiful face. He just plays a big part in the day-to-day operations of Parliament, just being there, supporting people. Well, for some reason, someone in Parliamentary Services has made a decision that Sprite had to go and be removed from Parliament. Wow. There was more backlash on that than a lot of other things that happened in Parliament, let me tell you. And I'm shouting out and calling out for Sprite to be returned, because it's important that we have those sorts of things in a workplace, such as a little friendly dog that can relieve some of the stresses and strains and bring a smile to your face while you're at work. I think it's imperative that he should return, and I hope Parliamentary Services make a common sense decision in returning him. And if they don't, myself and a number of other of my colleagues will continue to campaign until he's back. Sprite will come back with a bigger buzz than ever before. He's a ripper of a little fella. So that's it for this week. It's been a great week. We're just about to go back in to vote on the legislation. It's 4:45. We'll vote at 5 o'clock. I'll be back in Melton tomorrow, although I've got this enormous day tomorrow in regard to things that are happening out in Melton. I think we're opening up a new community centre out at Thornhill Park, going to one of the food banks. I've got to go into the health department to talk about the non-emergency patient transport review, meeting with Thornhill Park representative group, off to a Durga Puja event tomorrow night, which I've done for the last 4, if not 5 years. Plenty to do over the weekend, and guess what? Back into it on Monday. Wow. All right, we'll see you out there. Enjoy it. Melton's moving, don't worry. There's plenty of things that are going to be happening out that way, and See you out there. Thanks.